People, what's good in the hood? How are we all doing? Hopefully, especially if you live in London, hopefully you're out there enjoying the weather. If you're not, get outside because you know it isn't going to last. Go and enjoy the weather. Before you go and do that, don't forget, hit the subscribe button. Remember, we are trying to get to 40,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're going to do it. We're going to do it because you're going to help me do it. That's why we're going to do it. And also, one more thing I may ask of you, don't forget, follow me on Instagram, @Oladipo. Loads of content coming on there. I'm going to do a load of behind the scenes stuff, especially when I go to some of these big boxing events. Like obviously I'm going to Chisora Pulev tonight. It'll be good for you guys to see what goes on behind the scenes there. So follow me on Instagram, @Oladipo. We are trying to get to 7,000 Oh, fuck it. We're trying to get to 10. We're trying to get to 10,000. Fuck the 7. We're trying to get to 10. All right, let's talk about the big rumor going around in boxing world. And it's a big one, that CONOR BENN could face Chris Eubank Jr. Now, look, I spoke to Gareth A. Davis on TalkSport when? Yesterday. We were speaking about this AJ Usyk situation with Sky winning that. We touched on Pulev Chisora. And then the final thing, I was like, Gareth, look, what can you tell us about CONOR BENN versus Chris Eubank Jr.? Any truth in it, Gareth? He said, it's done. He said, the fight's happening. He said, the fight's happening in the autumn. So it wasn't a case of him saying, yeah, I'm not sure, Ade. It's, you know, we'll wait and see, blah, blah. No, he said, the fight's done. Now, look, we're going to get into the weight discrepancy and all that kind of stuff. But let me tell you now, take my money. Take my money, because I think this is a blockbuster of a fight. Again, not necessarily from a fighting standpoint. I know that sounds crazy. I'm talking about from a nostalgia and build-up standpoint. We'll talk about the fight, that's coming. But from a nostalgia and build-up standpoint, this is ridiculous. Like, if you're like me and you're of a certain age when British boxing you thought was the best it could ever be, then that's the 90s. And the reason it was the best it could ever be in the 90s was really because of two men. Maybe Prince Nassim Mohammed chucked in there as well. Ben and Eubank. That's what it was. Like, there are rivalries and rivalries. Nowadays, we kind of feel like a lot of the fights are made, WWE gimmicky type things, right? You don't really believe that they dislike each other. No one disliked each other more than Ben and Eubank. It was more Ben to Eubank, if I'm honest with you. But that rivalry back in the 90s was incredible. Now, if you're going to tell me, fast forward, I don't know, 25 years and their sons are going to fight, I'll be like, what? It's going to happen. I find it crazy to think that's going to happen. One fights at 160, has fought at 168, one fights at 147, hasn't fought higher than 147. I guess there has to be a catch weight here. What would be fair would be 154, but it won't be that. It'll probably be around 155, 156. But what would be fair is if they meet, in the weight class that both of them, can touch on. Ben goes up 1, Eubank goes down 1. Ain't gonna happen. They're probably gonna meet a couple of pounds over. Out of the trilogy, and I mean the three of them, so it was Ben, Eubank, and Brook. This is the one that I thought was further away from happening than all of them. Like, this one made no sense to me. The one that made sense to me was Brook Ben. That made sense. Brook, we know, has made 147 recently, did it against Amir Khan. CONOR BENN's 147. It makes sense. You could have that. And if Brook moans a bit, you go up to 150. A passing of the torch match. It makes so much sense. This one, I find crazy, and that's maybe why I love it so much. I find it crazy, and the kahunas on CONOR BENN to say, fuck it, let's go up and fight him. This isn't a Chris Eubank Jr. that's done. This is a Chris Eubank Jr. that's on the cusp of fighting for a world title himself at middleweight. He's on the cusp of fighting for a world title. So he's very much, no matter how much you shake and bake it, he's very much a top 6, top 7 middleweight. Yeah? He's only lost twice. He's very much still serviceable. He's very, very serviceable. He lives the life. There is no damage there. This isn't like CONOR BENN taking on someone that's coming to the end. No. There's still quite a few years in Chris Eubank Jr. So the kahunas on Conor to say, fuck it, I'll go up there and face him. You've got to applaud that. You've got to applaud that. Now, some of you are going to be like, no, this is wrong. Like, his management have got this wrong. He should stay at 147. Don't take the damage that, he might that he might get if he fights Chris Eubank Jr. Fight the guys at 147. There are good fights out there. They're good names. Avanesyan's the one that keeps them coming up. Kavilaskus is coming up. Like, fight those guys. Let me tell you now, people are in this sport for a couple of things. Belts and money, mainly money. This fight makes Conor Benn more money, I think, than any fight he could make at 147 pounds. Any fight he could make 100, any. So I'm not ruling out, when I say any, I mean any, by the way. This fight, and the Americans might not understand it as much, apologies, but this fight over here, from a British standpoint, if promoted correctly, is a fucking behemoth. If promoted correctly. It's enormous. It's Ben Eubank, people. It's enormous. Oh my God, the face-off will be incredible between the two. And then you've got to get the dads to face off. Sell it. Keep going, do whatever you need to do. Does it do a stadium? It does an arena like that. It does an arena like that. But the thing is, an arena is one thing. 10,000, 11,000, 20. Stadium's a bigger thing. We're talking 50 and above. Does it do that? I don't know. Could it do that? Yeah. Could it do 45,000? Yeah. Could it do? Yeah. But I think I'd prefer it to happen in an arena. I would prefer that. O2 Arena, Ben Eubank, both being walked out by their dad. Oh, fucking hell. Eubank's a bit of a bully here, isn't he? But look, if I'm Eubank, the risk reward, it's about the risk reward. I mean, you want to fight me? Okay, it's not, you've asked for the fight, and I'm guessing it's Ben's team that have approached Eubank's team. They've asked for the fight. And if you're DAZN right now, you need this. You need this, you want this. It looks like you're going to miss out on AJ, and look, this isn't going to do AJ Usyk type numbers, but you're missing out on AJ Usyk. You need a big fight for the UK fight fans, big fight for the casual UK fight fans. This is it. Guys, understand when I say this is a behemoth of a fight. Hope I'm using the right word there. It's massive. It's massive. Now, let's look at the fight. Eubank's just too big, isn't he? Eubank's just too big. He's too big, too strong, too fresh. Look, I know Conor, I've obviously met Conor numerous times. We've had him in the studio. He's a big guy himself. He's a big guy. Their walking around weight, I don't think would be much different. Eubank's a couple of inches taller. It's almost a bit like their dads, like Chris Eubank was always bigger than Nigel Benn, always bigger than him. Eubank's definitely bigger. I think Conor would take offense of me saying stronger, but he is stronger as well. Who's the better boxer? I think Ben technically is better. I think I've seen way more improvements, but this is a big jump. This isn't, and no disrespect, this isn't Granados, this isn't Algieri. Do you know what I mean? This isn't guys coming to the end. This isn't Vargas. This is Chris Eubank at 160. I mean, George Groves can crack, and we know that. He cracked Eubank. Immovable object. But if it happens, then we've got a big one. But I don't know, man. I don't know how Conor Benn beats Eubank. I mean, look, Conor Benn can really crack, but man, I don't know. It's a good one though, innit? Imagine the fucking face. I'm doing the face-off. Telling you now, Eddie Hearn, I'm doing the face-off. Don't be like Puff Daddy in this one. I'm doing the face-off.